We made plans to meet up that evening. We were going to go to dinner, but he had a work function that didn't get done until later, so we ended up just meeting up and I rode with him to the park. We sat in his car for a bit talking. He seemed very successful. He had a written self-help book, he was a motivational speaker, and he owned a business. I was really into him. After talking for a bit, we got out of the car and went for a walk by some baseball fields, and we ended up hooking up in the dugout, going at it. When we were done, it was about 1 a.m. and we went back to his car and we were sitting there talking when the cop pulled up. The cop said that the park closed at midnight and we weren't supposed to be there anymore. He asked us for our IDs. We both handed them over and the cop took them back to his car. He was there for a long time with them when all of a sudden another cop car pulls up. I look at this guy and said, "You don't have a warrant or anything, right?" Right about then, the cop comes back and says, "Sir, please step out of the car." One afternoon, I went to get some food at a restaurant during my lunch break for me and all my coworkers. While I was there, a really attractive guy offered to help me carry all my drinks to the car, but I politely refused because I'm all about being an independent woman. After I got them out to my car, I walked back in, dropped my number on his table. So you just really didn't want help. You wanted him to have your phone number, but didn't want to help you. Okay. He started texting me right away, and it seemed like there was a mutual connection there. We made plans to meet up that evening. We were going to go to dinner, but he had a work function that didn't get done until later, so we ended up just meeting up and I rode with him to the park. We sat in his car for a bit talking. He seemed very successful. He had a written self-help book, he was a motivational speaker, and he owned a business. I was really into him. After talking for a bit, we got out of the car and went for a walk by some baseball fields, and we ended up hooking up in the dugout. First,
That's crazy. She's all about being I'm an independent woman, but yet she out here hooking up in the park, bro. Can't even hook up in the house.
day,
Damn.
in the dugout. No judgment. Let's keep reading. Somehow he ripped his pants on the fence while we were going at it. When we were done, it was about 1 a.m. and we went back to his car and we were sitting there talking when the cop pulled up. The cop said that the park closed at midnight and we weren't supposed to be there anymore. He asked us for our IDs. We both handed them over and the cop took them back to his car. He was there for a long time with them when all of a sudden another cop car pulls up. I look at this guy and said, "You don't have a warrant or anything, right?" He says, "Of course not. Do you?" I told him, "Absolutely not." Right about then, the cop comes back and says, "Sir, please step out of the car. You're under arrest." I'm speechless. He claimed he had no idea what was going on or why he was under arrest, and the cops tell him it was for a warrant he had. So you did have a warrant. Don't say you didn't have a warrant. You knew. He claimed he had no idea what was going on or why he was under arrest, and the cops tell him it was for a warrant that he had. He gave me his mom's phone number and asked me to call her and tell her what's going on so she could help him. One cop took him to jail, and since I had ridden with him to the park, another cop had to drive me back to my car. I, of course, took a few selfies with the cop car before they left because I had to prove that shit was actually happening. Selfies. You need to be in it to prove that it's happening. You need to be in the photo. I then drove to the jail to see if I... Drove to the jail? You don't know this man. Why are you driving to the... I then drove to the jail to see if I could help him get out. I am way too nice of a person. By this point, it was almost 3 a.m. and he had asked me to call his mom. So I called her to let her know what was happening. She obviously didn't know who I was, so just imagine being his mom, getting a call at 3 a.m. from a random girl telling you that her son needs to be bailed out of jail. I proceeded to spend the next 3 hours parked in front of the jail on several different conference calls with his mom. What are you doing? What are you doing? Why are you doing this? I proceed to spend the next 3 hours parked in front of the jail on several different conference calls with his mom, his brother, and a bail bondsman trying to arrange a way to get this man. Why? Why are you on this call? You have nothing to do with this. Go to bed. It's 3 a.m. Come to find out, he had a warrant for failure to appear on a domestic violence case with an ex-girlfriend. Also, come to find out he had a fiance. But I got the last laugh because he was the one sitting in jail smelling like sex with ripped pants and had to go home to his fiance to explain how he ended up like that. How did you get the last laugh? How have you managed to convince yourself that you have the last laugh here? You spent 3 hours on a conference call with his mom, his brother, and the bondsman to do what? What was your role here? Please tell me how you were going to help him get out of jail. But you got the last laugh here. At least you got dick out of this, because I don't know where else you benefited in this whole scenario. You got some dick.
I don't get that part. How did you get the last laugh? Like, I mean, you wasted your time with him. Matter of fact, you, as an independent woman, ended up hooking up with a criminal, bro. In the park too, bro. Not even a house, in the park. And matter of fact, you're out here at 3 a.m. still rolling around, you know, in the jail trying to... Oh my goodness, get out of here. It don't even add up. Matter of fact, he's the one having the last laugh because he got you working overtime for him while his ass is out there chilling in them jail cell, right? He knew he had a warrant coming. He knew for a fact. That's a big ass L on your part because you just hooked up
Let's
with a
have a real
criminal.
conversation. Imagine this. Imagine you telling yourself you're gonna date safe, you're gonna just, take your time, this, that, and the other. But then you meet somebody in close proximity around where you stay. And he's nice, he's cool, he's chill, he's just your type. But in the beginning, you give him no play because you're focused, you're minding your business. So every time he speaks, you just give him a light hey. And every time he tries to stop you and have a conversation, you're like, oh, I gotta go. Because you really have to go, you're a busy person. So time goes on. You're bringing in the groceries, hypothetically. And he like, oh, you need help with that? You're like, no, sweets, oh, I got it. You're like, no, let me help you with that. Like, stop. So you're like, okay, whatever, let me in. All right, cool. And so as you stop to say thank you, he says, I've really been trying to get your attention, which you already know, but you're on your own zone. So you're like, I know, I'm just a busy woman. He's like, let me take you out, blah, blah, blah. And so you all get acquainted just a little bit. Y'all start to kick it a little bit. Like, he's cool. Nothing crazy. And so one day he says, you want to come over and watch a movie? We stay in close proximity. Why not? And you're like, you know what? Let me stop being so hard up. It's cool. Like, yeah, I'll do that. Y'all have hung out. Y'all have got to know each other. It's kind of cool. What if this happened to you? And let's just say as y'all were watching a movie, you're laying on his chest and you're just laying there. And he says in a real smooth way, so is that light you keep on your living room light or your bedroom light? So as you're laying there on his chest, you couldn't have possibly heard him correctly because you stay somewhere far, far off, secluded, even though it's in close proximity. So you say, what you say? And he says again, so is that light you keep on your living room light or your bedroom light? So now you laying on his chest thinking to yourself, how would anybody see that light? He said, look, as you're laying there on his chest, I've been watching you for a long time. What do you do? I've been liking you for a long time. Now this you know, but you don't know where it's gonna go next. There's some days I see you leave out every day, and I think to myself, if I ever had her, I would. And you waiting, but he doesn't say no more. Now as a woman, you're in a position where you cannot run, you cannot go anywhere. You're in their house, in their territory. So he continues. Yeah, I would see you sometimes with your dress on, going to stores and stuff. And you're thinking to yourself, how would you see me at the store? Around the way is cool, but at the store? And as you laying on his chest, he goes further and says, sometimes I would screenshot your toes on your Instagram because your toes, you always got them white. Oh, snap.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it how it is, man. You're screwed. You're toast. That's it. This man's a serial killer. That's it. You ain't getting out of here alive. That's it. Simply put, like once you have a man out here admitting to be doing this creepy stuff, like stalking you and watching you and all this weird stuff, then you already know you got a psycho. Matter of fact, actually, you went to his house. He didn't come to your house. All right, if he came to your house, that's a different story. You are in his territory. Doors are locked. Yeah. I don't know if you're getting out of this in one piece. I thought women are so attracted to men that are so obsessed over them. It's not a thing. Like a lot of women, they always talk about wanting their men to be all about them, obsessed with them, simping over them. I mean, why are you complaining? This dude's doing exactly that. My goodness, that's insane, bro. Like, wow. Good luck on this. I hope you made it out alive, though.
That you will never be able to make a woman happy. You just can't. If you last too long, then that's too much. But if you last too little, then that's too little. If you want too much intimacy, then you're being pushy. If you don't want intimacy at all, then you're cheating. You can remember to take out the trash, but she's going to remember that you didn't do the dishes. You can give her child support and you can give her over that and pay all of the in-between. And it's never enough, but when you pay nothing, then you're a deadbeat and she's still not happy. You could plan the perfect date, but if you didn't spend enough, then it's still not good enough. But if you don't plan a date, then you're a loser that puts in no effort. Women who don't have boobs want boobs. Women who don't have ass want ass. Women who have too much ass want a smaller ass. If you text too much, then you're basically a simp. But if you text too little, then you're a loser who doesn't care. You could buy her exactly what she wants, but if it's the wrong color, then it's still not exactly what she wants. You could give her all of the affirmation and all of the emotional support, but she's always going to remember the one time that you didn't. If you work too much, then you're not spending enough time with her. But then if you cut your hours and you're home with her more often, but you're making less money, then you're broke and you're basically a loser. If you watch too much football or have a hobby with the guys, then you're not invested in her. But if you don't have any hobbies or any other interests other than her, then you're a simp. Until you understand this as a man, that it's not your job or your responsibility to continuously make her happy, and that you can't make her happy, your life will be a lot easier.
Keith Lee said him and his wife broke up one time because they kept cheating on each other, and y'all mad like, yo, Keith Lee, just stop talking, please. Let us keep this fantasy of you in our head. I love it when y'all realize that content creators are real people. Like, it'd be the funniest shit ever. Because he's such a humble guy. Like, personally, right? I don't know. Y'all act like, especially when I'm on stream and we talking about cheaters and we watching the videos of people going through the spouse's phones, y'all could really point out a cheater. I always just point to the more attractive person, whether that's the male or the female, and I go, that motherfucker cheating. But y'all hate when that little fairy tale in y'all head that you've created about a person gets cracked. I just want to say, man, different strokes for different folks. Personally, if I found out a woman is cheating on me, I just can't see her the same, bro. I just can't see her the same after knowing that, like, somebody else was in that and she was loving it. But I guess it's a little different because he was like, shit, I was cheating on her too. So, I mean, I can't even fault them for real. I can't even remember that first story that they told. Everybody was going crazy about how he took her from some guy and all this, that, and the third. And their whole relationship crazy. But they probably got that crazy love shit going on. I can't even be mad at the lead.
Yeah, that sounds like a toxic ass relationship. Like, damn, it's doomed for failure. You already know you guys are going downhill when both of you are cheating on each other, simply put. And the funniest part is you can't even be mad when you catch her cheating because you're doing the same shit. And she can't really be mad at you because she's doing the same shit. So how are y'all gonna trust each other? How are y'all gonna live under one roof in one piece and cuddle up and know that you guys been doing each other like this? That's disgusting, man. I don't know. Simply put, I don't think you guys are meant to be in a relationship. Like, dude said he divorced her one time. Like, that means you're back together, right? Yeah, I don't even know why you guys go back together. You know, if you guys had that kind of connection, you guys could have still been friends, do your own things, all right? You guys didn't have to get back on that marriage type you know? Especially after both of you cheating and going around like that. Damn. That's wild. I don't know if it's scarcity on both of you's part, but that marriage is already doomed. That marriage is already destroyed.
Right, I go on your page, your highlights fully loaded. You've been everywhere all over the globe. You got 4 Chanel bags, 3 Louis Vuitton purses, Gucci shades. You got a 2025 car. But when I meet you, all your bills behind, bitch.
Yo, somebody's gotta tell him, bro. I think my bro's lost. My bro definitely hasn't learned. You gotta realize, yo, men are the ones that are paying for them trips and are buying her them Chanel bags. You think she buying her herself? You believe in her IG like that? You think she's rich like that? You think she paid for all them flights, them trips and all that? You think she really living like that? No, it's her sugar daddy, yo. And 5 other dudes, whatever, she keeping wrapped around her fingers. Because guys be doing shit like that just to get a woman, bro. Especially if she's pretty. If you're a pretty one, you gotta realize that. They're gonna pay for her trips, they're gonna pay for them Chanel bags, they're gonna pay for everything, even the apartment, all them cars, leases, or you name it. They're paying for that. So obviously if her bills are behind, chances are her sugar daddy, he's out there busy in Monaco. He hasn't really been keeping up with her bills. You know, she's waiting for him to come back and cover them all. You know, that's why when you meet her, she broke like that. Because she ain't got money. She relying on them dudes. Also, I gotta point that, guys, Instagram ain't real, right? People flex and people show shit that they don't even really own. You know, that one trip or that couple trips they go through a year, they make it their highlight, make it look like they're really living like that. But they ain't. You know that, right? So somebody gotta tell him, bro. He needs to learn this. Anyways, guys, that's a video. Leave a like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what y'all thought about this. What do you guys think about that whole story about that woman and and that dude that went to prison, bro? The woman that independent so-called woman that hooked up with that criminal dude that got arrested at that park. Comment down below your responses, and I'm gonna catch you on the next video. All right, peace.